Look at that highest distance all across the forms of Bowser's Kingdom. It looks way far beyond from it. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. So, last time we actually did manage to explore for quite a bit in the forms of Bowser's Kingdom, and we've managed to gather about 19 of those. Oops. Sorry, that was a little bit of a bad mistake there. So anyways though, yeah, today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we are about to continue exploring for the forms of Bowser's Kingdom before we're able to actually just about to finish up the main game, and as a result, in the forms of the last video, that we did manage to collect about 19 of those Power Moons, as far as I'm aware. So hopefully we might as well guarantee to able to get even more than that, but either way, it's not a truly guarantee if we're able to actually get every single moons throughout in this kingdom though. So, but again, that when we get to the actual the post-game sequences or something, we could ensure that we can able to actually get even more Power Moons to my disposal. So. Anyways though, so from the checkpoint flag that we did left off is the forms of the actual inner wall. So that means we need to do more of those wall scaling platform sections here by using the forms of the woodpecker enemies. So you can then know that you know, that's how you really have to do when it comes to getting up there. But again, I'm not exactly a pure expert with this particular enemy as a result to me, because Jesus Christ, I swear, I managed to try to flick it from the opposite side, from left or right, but then turns out I accidentally just tilted the analog stick by complete accident, so. But even then, no, that's just my only little bit of a gripe about it. But either way, enough about that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and double check what's beyond from this side here. And as it seems, it turns out, oh, there's something right down there. And of course, we can't do anything with these sites at the moment, just because we haven't got into it yet. So, and as a result, though, we need to deal with the main mission first. Because of that, yeah, we can't budge into that door for that just yet, until whenever we finish up with the main missions first. And then, as a result, then it should be self-explanatory for the most part. So, anyways, though, there's nothing in here, other than there is actually this, beanstalk seed in here somewhere, which appears to be, yep, right there. So even then though, that we need to grab that and just take it all the way to the forms of that specific beanstalk part, just like before, and just like the ones in you know, in Wooded Kingdom, we can able to actually ride onto the beanstalk, and I've seen there's actually some regional coins from over there, but I'll grab those into another whenever I finish up with this section first. So. And this is probably the best area when it comes to Bowser's Kingdom itself, is the fact that not only do we able to get ourselves 2 Power Moons as a result, but also you can get a plethora of coins on that area. So, if you really want to get 900 and, yeah, you know. No. Aw, shoot. It's not as easy to control this thing sometimes, but, oh well, we'll try that again. So anyways though, not only does it able to actually give us by the forms of the next bonus area that we can able to actually just to take around in the skies, but it's also, because of this though, it also just managed to take place, and you can able to actually get an insane amount of coins if you really want to get the expensive items, most notably the costumes and you know the rest. So this should be a really good area to able to actually grind for more coins and stuff, more notably the normal coin. What the hell? Why'd I do that? Oh, shoot. That is definitely my fault right there. I shouldn't able to actually die from there. Or perhaps it's maybe because of, my camera angle seems to really throw me off with that specific jumps. But oh well, no big deal. We'll try that again. So, you know, today was actually forms of, the 22nd of December in 2018. So we've got 3 more days to go, folks. Up until when it gets to Christmas this year. So don't expect me to able to actually just well, since you know, the forms of you know, some several moments noticing where it comes to some other schedules in mind, but either way though, that we hopefully guarantee we can able to actually get these parts done before the forms of Christmas video is going to be up on its horizon. So, but usually if not for long though, because you know we've only got 3 more days to go. So anyways, let's try this area again, and hopefully we can able to not only grind for some more coins, but also just get these 2 power moons. So, I missed those gold rings, but whatever. So here's the next power moon, dashing through the clouds. And yeah, if you manage to nab the forms of that power moon, then obviously you'll stop moving with the forms of that specific rocket flowers and stuff. So, and there's another power moon dashing above the clouds. So now for the little grand finale. We got some more coins due to the actual gold rings, and that'll be about it for the most part. As far as I've heard about the fact that with the forms of the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe recently, in the forms of a couple of days ago, they actually did showcase off the new gameplay footages with the forms of Game Explain's 20 minutes session, and basically he did show off by the forms of how Toadette works, or in this case Peachette actually works, and he actually did manage to establish another noticeable differences between the Wii U version and the forms of the Nintendo Switch version with the new Super Mario Bros. U game itself. That he did manage to establish only 7 things in mind, which there are HD Rumble, because who knows, maybe the Nintendo Switch do so well with the HD Rumble functionality, because in the original Wii U version of the game, it only contains like a standard rumble, which is not that particularly impressive, I will admit though right away. But at least from the Nintendo Switch though, at least, did manage to able to have the HD rumble, so that's pretty cool at least. And the second thing he did astonish though, or in this case establish though, is the fact that with the main menu itself, which compared to the forms of the Wii U version, as far as I can usually tell, is a little bit more standard stuff, but it's also pretty bland at the same time, just because, well, they're just a little bit more washed out in any ways. But thankfully though, the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe did manage to able to improve upon the main menu system because of, well, where we get to the forms of our particular Let's Play of that game at some point in the future, most notably at the very beginning of the 2019, whenever that game come out, and establish the forms of some of these changes than the Wii U version than the Switch version, so we'll definitely point things out during that time comes. So anyways though, let's go for the zip line and able to traverse on top of the actual rooftop of that specific building. So we actually approach to Bowser himself along with Peach with the wedding dress on. You're too late. We're off to our wedding ceremony on the moon. Wahahaha. Alright, so here we go folks, this is the forms of the next boss battle in the forms within Super Mario Odyssey, and before we get into the actual boss fight, we were so darn close to able to rescue Princess Peach, and then as a result, Bowser still managed to become even a little bit more powerful than ever, so I guess we'll save that until when we get to the forms of the on top of the moon itself. So what is up with any Mario games to able to actually feature it in space? I mean, usually Super Mario 3D Land doesn't count just because it was actually like, I don't know what you would call it, but either way though, that when it comes to like both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 makes sense for taking place in outer space, just because obviously it's in outer space. But then in Super Mario 3D World, they actually just managed to feature World Star, World Mushroom, and World Flower, and World Crown that usually takes place in outer space almost. And yeah, because of the actual special worlds. But now, in this game in particular, we're still going to go up to outer space, but in new forms of the actual moon, any planet. So, that's a bit weird, but hey, who knows to that. So, anyway, here's the next boss fight in the game, and that's the forms of a Robo-Brood, which basically is more likely a culmination of both of, all four of those, Broodals that we did manage to fight from before, twice, in this particular playthrough. But, the thing is about this time around, though, is that, you can able to actually just use that little woodpecker enemy, as far as I've mentioned about this before, and it's gonna be mandatory if you really want to deal the damage on this boss fight. And then if you do that, and chances are the only damage you can only do with these particular boss is the glass dome, and you have to deal with it 4 times. So, naturally, there won't be 3 hit points this time around, though, so yeah, that's a little bit more of a up to the challenge. In fact, this boss does remind me of almost exactly related to the forms of the actual one of the boss fights from Super Mario Galaxy 2, and that was the forms of the Bowser Jr.'s Boomstay machine, which, either way though, that there could be something more related to whenever when, assuming if someone else can able to do that Let's Play, most notably for our toy's sake. So, either way though, that way we can able to actually do that, redo Let's Play on that until next year, or usually next year, so... Anyways though, you just have to pay attention and you have to watch out for not getting crushed, and it basically, this whole entire suggestion with this boss fight is that you're gonna have to use these bombs to able to actually break the actual metal legs. And then if you do that, then chances are you might as well able to actually just to let the Robo-Brood robot get his knees down a little bit. And that way you can able to actually just use the woodpecker enemy, and then after all that, then you can able to actually just reach on top of the actual size, depends on what size you'll be going for, and then basically just ground pound the actual glass stone, and then that way she'll deal the damage. So, very simple self-explanatory boss fight though, but you have to watch out for the most of the time, because obviously if you see the actual like red marks, as you can probably see from just about any moments noticing, and especially noticeable with some of these rotating snakes looking enemies. And because of that though, you need to pay attention to that, and plus you really can't afford to able to stay completely still, because otherwise you will end up dying. So anyways though, so here's the other final part, so let's go and do this, and this should be it, and we can able to break the glass dome for good. And good thing about the barrier though is the fact that it actually protects you from not falling down to the bottomless pit, so naturally speaking, that's all that really matters. Unlike the ones in Super Mario 3D World boss fights, that usually takes place in a circular arena, that there is no barrier. And also, similar to the forms of Super Mario 3D World actually, there was actually a fireworks display of the forms of the actual main villains themselves, which, you know, kinda like how we did in, you know, Super Mario 3D World ending, whenever they showcased off the fireworks display of Bowser's face. But this time, in Super Mario Odyssey, it's now the Broodals. So, there we go! Showdown at Bowser's Castle is completed. And we got a multi-moon. Now, for those of you probably wondering about the Japanese version of the multi-moon itself, I think it actually calls it Grand Moon, which I don't know if I mentioned about that, but anyway. We were one step away, and Bowser flew off to the moon. But we can chase after him in the Odyssey. Just throw me on that globe. Before I do that though, Cappy, I just need to able to do some more objectives before we move on to the final showdown, as far as I'm aware. So, good thing about the forms of the Beneath the Keep though is the fact that you can able to actually just to go back up from here very easily, unlike the ones in On Foot. So, naturally speaking, then it should be a lot more easier just to get up there, so splendid. Yeah, splendid indeed. And since we actually deal with the actual boss fights on the forms of this particular kingdom, that means we can now actually do some more things. Stuff like capturing the bunny, which I believe there are essentially only 2 of them, and I believe one of them actually retains the Power Moon, whilst in the forms of the other rabbit on the other hand though, it only contains only 1 coin, so definitely not worth it though. So anyways, let's go ahead and go after that specific rabbit, if that's all depends though, really, because what's so tricky about this though, to me though, is the fact that sometimes he just actually hops around all over the place, and actually I'll skip him for later on. So, whee! Nice landing onto above the poison swamp. Even though that's not, you normally do that, normally, I think in order to actually do this though, is that you have to get onto this little catapult from between both of those sides. So, once we knock down this little picture frame, then another power moon appears. So, yeah, you can definitely tell by this point right about now that I'm presuming we've almost at the 400 moon mark. So, jeez, we're getting pretty close towards it, doesn't it? Even though that, again, this is going to be a biggest game in the series with the 3D Mario games in mind. So, even unlike the forms of Super Mario 64, and especially noticeable with Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, well, generally in Super Mario Galaxy 1, that is a little bit longer than the forms of in Mario 64 and Sunshine because of Mario and Luigi playthroughs of the game. And Super Mario Galaxy 2 might be exactly the same length as Galaxy 1, but in the Green Stars department it was actually quite short. It depends on your skills. So, anyways though, so yeah, there's not much else I can really say about this other than that. Well, apart from the fact that I just don't know what to think about for the time's sake because of again, pretty much limited with the forms of news, updates, and all that stuff. But once again, after the forms of yesterday's video, that once again my microphone has actually gone pretty bad recently, especially noticeable with how the fact that again, if I moved a little bit more with the actual microphone recording setup, but then it turns out it was actually going a little bit more obnoxiously glitchy and stuff. But that's just how it is for me. And of course you can see on screen right about now, I'm going to be doing another fishing mission, but this fishing mission is a little bit trickier compared to the forms of the Lake Kingdom, and especially the Sand Kingdom, and heck, even especially noticeable with the Snow Kingdom itself. Because of this though, it just makes it incredibly tricky to be able to time itself properly, to me though, or maybe it's because I haven't really played this game for quite some time because I was really busy and really into with the forms of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate recently for the Nintendo Switch. So, but either way though, and aside from the forms of you know, how the fact that Piglet has recently finished up with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker in during about 2 months ago, which I think I've already mentioned about that before. So it looks like so far that I think I actually got myself 26 Power Moons so far with Bowser's Kingdom, which is actually pretty good, but not as much compared to the forms of any other videos ago, but either way though, that's as far as I can usually just try to describe it as such. So, okay, so there's a cheap Jeep, so there's nothing important here, because there is actually a different object that we can able to get with the fishing mission in this particular kingdom, which I'll briefly mention about that. In fact, I don't have many luck with this though, so it looks like, no matter what though, I think I get a strong sense of feeling that I think I might actually gain no luck with this particular mission because, well, again, you need to be extremely precise onto that fishing rod and stuff, and yeah, it looks like that cheap shadow is disappearing, so I guess we'll actually come back for that in a later time though, so don't worry, we'll get to that one day. So, anyways though, enough about this particular stuff, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get these two bunnies here, which either way, I've noticed there's one over there on the left, which fundamentally though, I'm pretty sure it just gives you just only 1 coin, which again, kind of worthless, but at least it's something is worth mentioning though with these particular rewards you can get. It depends on what rabbits you be catching, so. But what makes this rabbit catching can be a bit tricky sometimes, as far as I'm aware, is that sometimes they actually just manage to able to almost get into the edge of the rooftop. So if you've been recklessly trying to able to actually just be very careful with your controlling movement and stuff, what happens is the fact that if you overshoot your jump or something like that, you probably ended up going to have to restart to where the checkpoint is you touched, or perhaps it may be Yeah, this is the part I was talking about the fact that, it just gets pretty tricky and quite treacherous at the same time whenever the actual bunny did manage to, almost get close to the edge, so I'm also able to actually almost gonna die for that point, so yeah, as far as I'm aware, the one on the right with the very beginning of that chase sequence is actually holding the power moon, so whilst the one to the left, then, you know, it does not contain a power moon other than just only one coin in general, so, but again, kind of worthless though. But hey, at least it's cool and all, whenever you're trying to buy things, like, you know, some more costumes, especially with, health hearts and stuff. I think I'm actually go ahead and say right now, I think I should probably get the life heart, up until when we get up to the moon, because I don't think there's any, enemies to encounter for the time being, so naturally speaking, that I'm pretty much gonna be okay for the most part, so other than the fact that I'm literally just gonna have to, like, Jesus Christ, come back here. Okay, I think I pretty much caught him for this point, and I just get a feeling the camera controls this. Oh my god, no, just get back here, oh, what? I think I think I was too late. Yep, I was too late. Jesus Christ, he's actually way over the top here, almost like faster Sonic. Well, no offense, but still. Come on, let's see if I can get you for this. Come on. Oh jeez, you're gonna be seeing me most of the time just trying to wasting my time to able to get chased by the forms of like chasing that darn bunny. But either way though, I'm hoping I can guarantee to able to catch him. There we go! Jeez, 2 minutes to able to spend for that one bunny alone. Jeez. Whew, that was a bit exhaustion. But anyways, some more regional coins here, so 68 of them. So we've got, I would say 32 left. So, but again, I don't know if I can guarantee to able to get every single regional coins for this point. So, but hey, at least I've managed to got some anyway. So, anyways though, so let's get onto this counterpult and just trying to see what are some new stuff that has been here by the forms of the Showdown Arena. Well, of course we do have a warp pipe from here, which actually leads us to a puzzle section, which basically we need to use those specific statues in order to actually just to use them to activate those P-switches. So that should be the main suggestions with this particular mission itself. So, and in fact there might be 2 missions involved with this mission though. And because of this though, I'll show you in just a moment before you're able to actually just to guide. There's nothing in here aside from Micro Goombas, so no need for that. So yeah, again, there's not much else I could really just trying to say to you for this point, guys, other than the fact that Christmas is getting closer until 3 days from now. And it looks like I don't do anything in here, I'm afraid. So we'll just go ahead and just do a Cappy long jump and stuff, and I would guarantee that there might be something inside here which I'm also able to, like, yeah, if you actually activate the P-switch, if you think about did manage to activate it, but you need to use the statues before you're able to actually let those P-switches turned on for a long time. So naturally, because of how the fact that it just actually feels like a requirement around here, so alright, so let's go ahead and just press that switch over here, and this way, it will actually activate that particular power moon right there. And we do need to use that though, because unlike the other 3 switches, which I'll get to that as soon as we get to the normal regular mission, that it will actually close off. So either way though, that maybe seems the case, mind you. So, oh, why do I do that? I keep on wrecking myself with all this trial and error moments is, which that's definitely my fault right there. So, and what makes it a bit painful though is the fact that I have to restart the whole entire process again. So, well, it doesn't matter for me too much though, because either way, you don't just kick out back in the actual title screen or anything like that, unlike you know, in certain Mario games, like for instance Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and especially noticeable with Super Mario Sunshine, unless if you actually continue. But either way though, yeah. Alright, so that could be up for later, so either way though, that way we could able to potentially tryna be very careful around here, especially with those spikes that we can able to, well, thankfully though, those statues are completely invulnerable to the forms of spike platforms themselves, so yeah, that makes it pretty obvious. So anyway, we do need to actually activate this in case of the actual like, no matter what though, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and trying to, oh great, looks like I'm gonna have to like, activate that thing right here. But before I do that, let's do a bit of a triple jump here, and there we go. Drizzle and the hidden room. How about that? Alright, so we're almost there at the forms of the 30 moon count with the forms of Bowser's Kingdom itself. And we'll just activate that platform over there, or in this case that specific section here. And sometimes this process can take a little bit of a long time to able to get into. Well, that's only because of how the fact that I need to able to actually just to figure out, well, because you see, the thing is, I'm pretty puzzled around here, so either way though, that way we can actually activate that again, even though, you know. But again, there's not much else I can really talk about for this point, folks, other than, well, you know, pretty much limited with news and stuff. I've noticed about the fact that there's still no sign with Nintendo Direct yet, but as far as I've heard, they might be actually, they might be trying to, announce that in the forms at the very beginning of 2019, if possibilities, just like the ones in, you know, in 2015, and especially notable with Nintendo Direct Mini in the forms of in 2018, or in this case in about 11 months ago right now, and hopefully that will actually happen though. But either way though, it all depends though really, because, well, I'm just really hoping they're actually going to be revealing a new release date of Yoshi's Crafted World, and especially noticeable with the new release date for Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn for the 3DS, and new information on Luigi's Mansion 3, and heck, even with Metroid Prime 4, and to see the actual final name of that game, and some more info about the forms of Bayonetta 3, it all depends though really, and basically that's all we can get. So, anyway. Well, at least as far as my own predictions, as far as I'm aware, so. Okay then, so, and also another thing I just want to point out right away is the fact that recently, oh yeah, we got some more regional coins from that little pole here, and we can hit back up, and actually, there was actually another power moon that we can able to grab, and that was the forms of this challenge here, so. But again, we need to able to use this, we need to do this without using a cappy, so, oh please don't tell me I wasted time. Oh, really? I wasted my time for that? Oh, that's a little bit pointless. But anyway, let's try that again. Okay, yeah, another thing is worth mentioning though, is the fact that recently, in the forms of in, the manga, UK Entertainment has recently announced there's gonna be, you know, the release dates coming for the forms of the DVD/Blu-ray release of Pokemon the Movie 21, The Power of Us, on the forms of it's going to be releasing on February the 11th in 2019. So, who knows? Maybe we can able to actually just see the actual film of it properly. And as far as I've heard, that film was actually pretty good, even though it might be a little bit cheesy at one point, unlike the ones in the previous Pokemon movies as a result. But I might be curious to able to actually see how that film turns out. Well, yeah, I haven't really get a chance to see if I Chose You just yet, but I still a little bit more rough around the edges when it comes to following up the forms of Pokemon movies, even though so far I've only got about like quite a few Pokemon movies. There are some exceptions, like I have refused to not getting Pokemon the movie 7 because I think it's awful for me. Like, color palettes are way washed out, and not so much nicer compared to the forms of the rest of the Pokemon movies follow-up and the past entries, but that's just probably just me. And also the horrendous CGI movements with Deoxys and all that stuff, and especially noticeable with, well, I just despise Toy so much because he looks exactly like Riku, except, well, he's just afraid of Pokemon, like, let's just say, 5 times. Oh jeez, he's worse than Princess Elise from Sonic 06. I mean, jeez. Anyway though, now we can able to actually get into this door over here, while after dealing with that enemy first. And then that way we can able to actually enter this door here, which actually leads us to this area, which means that we once again need to use that specific enemy to be able to actually deal with this particular stuff. So yeah, to get the feeling for that part, so, but I don't mind about it too much. So anyways, let's go ahead and process him, or in this case, capture him. And there's once again 2 power moons in this particular sequence, and I believe one of them was actually that we need to able to obtain the key, which the key represents is going to be right down here. And then if you obtain the key, then this will able to unlock that specific power moon right on the top, on the exact same area as the normal power moon was. So yeah, let's just go ahead and be very careful, especially noticeable you don't want to like slam into the forms of these metal walls, especially because if you do that accidentally, then obviously they have no time to react. So alright, so there we go. I think that'll be alright for the moment, and there we go. And it's gonna be another shoot. Okay. Whew, that was really close. In fact, I almost gonna fall off to death for a moment ago. But anyway. No, something I want to mention about this right away is that originally we were able to decide to do our let's play of these another Simpsons game by the forms of the Simpsons Hit and Run. But we'll wait for that until when it gets to next year or possibly in 2020. I'm not exactly sure. But again, it all depends on the redo Let's Plays that we are busy doing schedule-wise. And because we've actually, like, me and Sonic has, you know, back in 2015, that we did done The Simpsons Road Rage on the forms of that specific Let's Play. And so far for the actual views count is actually pretty impressive for the time. So who knows, maybe we could able to potentially try to deal with another 2 The Simpsons games that most people out there might be familiar with, like the Hit and Run, and especially noticeable with the Simpsons game that you know, in most of the actual, like, you know, for the actual license department. But I don't know, what do I think about it. Alright, so for the most part, I think I should probably do one more Power Moon mission I need to do for now. So either way though, let's go ahead and, oh look at that, 2,000 coins. Get it? Because of 2000 as the year. And it looks like, yep, we got another Power Moon. So Bowser's Castle Treasure Vault. So not only do we get a Power Moon, but also a whole bunch of coins as per usual. So, you know, just like the ones and how it does it in the Sand Kingdom. So yeah, everything else will be actually turned out to be. And fundamentally though, before you're able to leave the kingdom from now on though, because of that though, we need to double check, oh, there's going to be some regional coins from here. And as far as I've noticed, there might be another set of regional coins from above the poison swamp there too. So I might as well grab those in just a moment. But first of all, let me grab those regional coins from that specific wall scaling section. And then as a result, then well, with the addition to the forms of the rotating donut looking platforming department right there, and we need to be, again, be very careful most of the time. And there we go, we got 77. And let's just go ahead and grab the rest of, why do I use the ground pound again? Jeez, I keep on using ground pounds most of the time, especially whenever I do some really bad tactics, or in this case, some bad skills department. But it's not my fault or anything, it's just pretty much an accidental. But I noticed in the forms of some speedruns in the game, they did manage to accidentally use the ground pound most of the time, so... Anyways though, so we've got ourselves 80 out of 100, so we're naturally about 20 regional coins left for, you know, the regional coins count. So, I think what we should probably do for now is the fact that we might as well able to take a break with the forms of Bowser's Kingdom for now. So naturally, we've actually got ourselves, in total-wise, that we've got 33 Power Moons, so... Not bad, could be more than that until for the future points, but we'll just rescue Princess Peach for, you know, for the last time or something. I don't know. I think it just goes in ramps and repeats for every single future Mario installments these days. Alright, so with the addition with 340 Power Moons, now we've actually got in total right now, it's 373 Power Moons that we've got. Who knows, maybe we could actually get 400 at the very end of the forms of the actual main game? Oh, I actually realized the balloon itself is now in yellow instead of the usual white. That's pretty promising. Yes, the Odyssey is completed, so yeah, that would be good to go for that point. And from here, we can now transport to the actual Moon Kingdom itself. Bowser's not getting away. We'll chase him all the way to the Moon Kingdom. Come on, let's save these two, both Tiara and Peach. Which, of course, we will do that. And before you're able to get into the Moon Kingdom, guess what really starts to shine is that we can now lift up in the air, just like the actual hot air balloon. And in addition to that, we actually got ourselves the additional new costume as well, which we have the Wedding Mario. So yeah, top notch for that. There's also an alternative way that you can able to actually access to that costume by simply able to use your Wedding Mario amiibo, but since I still don't have one of these at the moment, because again, amiibos, they are very hard to find right now. So anyways though, here we go, onto the final encounter up ahead. And here we go, onto the actual moon itself. And hopefully we're able to actually just, well, I don't know if it's zooming for sure. But anyways, here we are, the Moon Kingdom itself. And if I'm guessing this correctly, we might actually gonna have to deal with the actual gravity itself. So, you know, you get the idea. Bowser's Moon Wedding. Of course, this will be our stop. Well, don't you look dopely? Well, duper, as far as I'm aware. These two must be over there. No time to diddle-o-duddle, let's go. Which, yes, the church itself is, surprisingly enough, the church was actually in the moon apparently, which, either way, in realistic and reality world, we don't have a church on the actual moon, which is kind of odd. But again, it's just a video game preference from here, so anyway. So, we got the endings off at this point right there, folks, so join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey. It's the fact that we are exploring the Moon Kingdom and all that, so see you guys next time. Later, fellas.